that we could do a little bit better on. You see the flow over the top of the vehicle, and we addressed areas such as the A-pillars, the cab mirror mounting, and then also on the day cab, we addressed the roof fairing as well as the sun visor at the top of the roof. On the undercarriage of the vehicle, we looked at how that air flowed in front of the tires and through the bottom of the chassis. And then we wanted to maintain and determine what air had to stay outside the chassis and inside the chassis underneath the vehicle. And then finally, we looked at some of those ancillary things on the vehicle, hood-mounted mirrors and also bug screens. We'll talk about those in a sec. But we
offhand, that wouldn't sound like much. I mean, we have a 435 and we have a 475, and okay, this one falls right in the middle. What's behind that, and the reason I wanted to emphasize that, is that this new rating is available only in our EcoTorque and our dual torque format, which is becoming quite a lot of what we do. And this is what I wanted to share with you. All right, so the overall engine curve gives you this big picture, and the driver can use that through accelerating through the gears to get up to speed. When he gets up to speed, where we want him to be is right here, right in that sweet spot, cruising along. And so over the years, everybody's come up with different software techniques to do that. What I've done in this is to share with you lines of constant power, which are drawn horizontally, and then lines of constant torque. And you see that above about 1,500 RPM, the engine's operating in an area where the horsepower is essentially constant. And that's great for accelerating through the gears. And then when you get up in speed, you're in this sweet spot. And the sweet spot we're defining now is from 1,200 to 1,500 RPM. But further than that, we use a road speed limiter to limit the top speed to, let's say, 65 miles per hour. And in this case, I want to draw to your attention that our recommendation, since we've come out with the 2010 engines, is a little bit less than we had with 2007. We recommend and have recommended that our trucks operate at 1370 at cruise. That's 65 miles an hour, and it sounds like tall gearing, but it really works well. And so that's how so far we've boxed this down. Now let me show you what EcoTorque does. EcoTorque gives a dual personality feature, a multiple personality to the engine. But what's unique about EcoTorque is very intuitive for the driver to use. Keeping in mind that in top gear, he can't use anything up here. He's really operating somewhere at 200 horsepower at cruise and up to this 1550 torque level on this new rating. And then, if he hits a grade and it slows him down below 1,300 RPM for about 4 seconds, then it flips to the higher torque level and it stays there until he goes downhill. The important thing is, once again, this, that EcoTorque works, it's intuitive, the drivers know it, the drivers feel it, they like to use it, they learn real quick that if they downshift too early, they'll never see that higher power curve. The only way to get it is to lug it down. This is the training that we do as the driver drives to keep him in top gear, and he becomes to realize that with a rating such as this 455 with a 1750 torque, it's a 10th gear truck. He'll stay at 10th gear for most of the operation on the typical interstate that he'll see. And you can see now that of the 22 ratings that we now have in our Volvo engine line, which I'm very proud of, 10 of them are now EcoTorque or dual torque. What's the difference? The dual torque is only for certain vendor transmissions, for example, some direct drives that don't allow you to use the higher torque in all the gears. And so that's the reason for the dual torque. It's only in the top two, where our EcoTorque feature is available on our iShift and many other vendor manual transmissions, where the full torque is available and gives the driver better performance in the mountains. They perform exactly the same. They get exactly the same fuel economy at the top gear performance we're 12. The message is this: EcoTorque and dual torque is the single highest selling Volvo fuel economy option as far as the engine software that we have.